Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Celebrity Creator Show. That's right, Celebrity Creators. We are changing our brand over, as many as you know, and we'll get into that at a later time. But we have a fantastic guest on with us tonight. She is a bundle of energy. I can't wait to bring her on. But before I do, what I want to do is, as we always do on this show, is first, I want you to meet my wonderful co-host and co-creator of this show, and most importantly, my very good friend, Kathy Stover. Kathy has just a plethora of experience and a wealth of background and knowledge, including in that operations manager and sales manager for over 25 years with a Fortune 500 company. And that, to me, is impressive by itself enough, but the list goes on. She's a very, very highly successful social media coach. So if you are in need of any building up of your social media, and we have got a great show for you tonight on that topic, I got to tell you. But if you have any need in the social media arena, Kathy is another great resource for you to go after. She's also a speaker along with yours truly. Getting a little feedback there. She's also a power seller on eBay, which is a huge designation to achieve on eBay, where she has a certificate on her wall. In order to get that, it takes quite a bit of effort and a lot of integrity going into her business forward. She's also a top-rated seller on eBay, which is a very, very difficult designation to achieve because the people that purchase from her actually rate her. As many of you might already be aware, that's how the top-rated system works on eBay. That tells you enough right there that this woman works with integrity, highly ethical, and a wonderful human being to boot. I have so much to say, but I want to keep moving. Let's get on with our guest. And Kathy, I want to again say welcome to the show. Thank you so much for everything you do, and let's get rocking and rolling, huh?
Absolutely. Before we get started, though, I just want to tell everybody about you, my dear friend, Brian. Brian has got over 23 years of software engineer experience. He also ran a travel-based MLM for 6.5 years. He is an avid social media addict, just like me, I think as much of us are these days. In addition to that, he also put a lot of what you see together as far as behind the scenes stuff, which is a little bit geeky and technical for me, but that's all right. I'll leave that kind of stuff to him. He actually has been working very diligently in putting together our Celebrity Creators site and some of the things that we're going to be debuting very soon. And I just want to say thank you so much, Brian, again, for spending another Tuesday evening, and I'm with you. Let's get on with the program and introduce our fantastic guest that we have tonight.
This is going to be good, folks. Our next guest, I'm just going to read from a list here of great accomplishments of our next guest coming up, Donna Lang. She's a business life coach and social media strategist. Social media, you hear that word a lot. That empowers entrepreneurs and business professionals in transition to take their business and their life to the next level with laser focus, compassion, caring, and creativity. With her, it's all about results, results, results. Donna Lang guides her clients to play to their strengths and thus deliver measurable results by utilizing the SMART tools model that she developed. In 2004, Donna decided to pursue a coaching career. Her 15 years of corporate sales success and natural leadership abilities represented a bridge that led her to inspire and coach others to live their best lives. In fact, she lives and breathes SMART coaching tools in her own life, winning the inner game to produce extraordinary outer results from the inside out. Her coaching career has been built upon her BA degree in psychology and her training with world-class coactive coaching school, the Coach Training Institute, or CTI. She is highly committed to ongoing education in the field of coaching and professional development. She is DISC certified and views this assessment as a value to her clients who want to better understand how to leverage their communication styles for greater success in life and business. She holds a CDC designation from Marsha Weeder's Dream Coach University program. This powerful workshop was designed for companies and business professionals who want to define their mission and discover their true life purpose. It goes on and on and on. I think you can all get the gist that our next guest carries with her quite a extensive background as well. Without further ado, I'd like to welcome everyone and welcome Donna to our show. Welcome to the show, Donna. Very glad to have you here.
thank you. It is a pleasure to be here. A pleasure. I've been so looking forward to spending time with you.
Well, we are so excited to have you, especially with the topic that we're going to be talking about, Donna. As everybody knows, social media is the hot topic, and it's not going away anytime soon. As a matter of fact, we would all agree that it's not going to go anywhere. In fact, the people that aren't on the bandwagon need to jump on the bandwagon, and that's something that you're going to help us talk about tonight, because the topic is how to get more clients, more money, and more success. So what Brian and I would like to know is, what is it that you do exactly?
Well, it really is kind of an interesting concept, because who you are in business is who you are in life, right?
Yes.
It's hard to separate it. When I was training with the Coaches Training Institute, people were saying, are you going to be a business coach? Are you going to be a life coach? Are you going to be a social media strategist? And I couldn't separate them, because all of those ingredients touch and define who we are. And so what I've done, and I'm doing it on an ongoing basis, is continuously and consistently study and incorporate 4 pieces of the magical success strategy pie. And that's why I can take folks that are in transition, entrepreneurs who want to play a bigger game, and still apply the 4 pieces to the success strategy pie. And that is really to really discover who you are. What are your strengths, value, communication style? What is your MO? And then to clarify what matters most. That's step 2. And then step 3, to create an action plan that really maps back to who you really are. And then the final one, the most important, is to implement and hold yourself, with the help of a coach, preferably, to hold yourself accountable to really make it happen and get those measurable results. And so that's the model. And what makes that model exciting is it has 3 pieces to it, actually 4 pieces to it. I am a coach and social media strategist, but I'd really prefer to say I'm a coach and trainer. I provide coaching programs for all budgets, all levels. So folks that are a little limited in terms of their budget, they can join my membership program. Folks that want one-on-one attention, they can join my private coaching program. Folks in the middle can elect to choose the group coaching program. And then if they want the business training, here's where we talk about social media. There are 4 parts to it, and I'd like to spend a little more time on social media, but social media basically is a new way of going from the traditional way of interacting to connecting ideas and people to the next level, 2 results. Just connecting content, people, and ideas together. It's a great, great tool. But to make it happen, you also need to communicate. So folks can really work on their communication skills, and I teach a course called Communicate to Win, which works on that goal. And then people really, really, really need to think about their state of mind management. You can have the goals, you can have the drive, but what if you can't manage your state of mind? It manages you.
Perfect.
So I offer a course called Get Happy, Get Rich, and it looks at all of the tools you can use to keep yourself resilient and thus happier and thus making better choices.
Well, that's very important.
Yes.
Being happy, particularly when we're working and what we're doing. Resiliency and happiness. Very good.
Yeah.
Yes, and so I'm going to give you kind of a backdrop, and maybe we can focus on any number of those, because I am pretty multifaceted. But do you know what? They're all related. They're really all related. It's like we're creating a tapestry every day, right?
Yes.
And the last piece of this success pie, I call it, is the Get Clients Now program, and that's when folks, most entrepreneurs, have a lot of moving parts, right?
Right.
So this helps clients and entrepreneurs and anyone who really is participating in adding more clients to their business become focused. And this is a plan that helps people become focused and accountable and hitting the target, hitting the mark, getting those clients that they're really looking to get, and focusing in on the marketing and sales piece and not all the other distractions. So in a nutshell, that's kind of the layout of what we can maybe dip into tonight. So I'm going to take a pause and let you guys dive in. You might have some questions.
Absolutely, we sure do. Social media, Donna, has been around for a relatively short period of time, but in a very short period of time, it has become one of the biggest buzzwords out on the internet. And it can be very daunting for those who are just beginning. And on that note, what I'd like to find out from you personally, because we've all had our own reasons for getting involved in social media, how did you get started in social media, and what brought you into that whole arena?
Well, a number of years ago, I was selling internet marketing to entrepreneurs. So I learned the do's and the don'ts of internet marketing, and I was so intrigued. And so I became a student of internet marketing, Google Analytics, paid search engine optimization, and then the kiss and cousin, social media, came about. And I started to attend all those teleclasses and all those webinars, and quite frankly, I got a little overwhelmed. You know what I mean? It just becomes overwhelming.
Absolutely.
And so I said, let me just step back and simplify the process. I'm an entrepreneur. I didn't have time to spend all day on social media, but the value of it was obvious. And so I put together a 3-step program that worked for me. And I'll go into that in a moment. And it really simplifies the process. It gets really great results. And it affords me and my clients the opportunity to really focus in on their business and not on having social media run their lives.
Well, so you just mentioned that 3 steps. What are the 3 strategies that you use to leverage social media?
Well, when you think about social media, it's about dialogue, not monologue, right?
Right.
And so I looked at that and I said, well, how do we have some fun with that and still be effective? Still be effective. So there are 3 pieces. There's the thought of, isn't it important that you're interesting? Isn't it important that you're interested? Is it important that you promote content, ideas, events, people, places, things? Really promote and provide valuable content. So I came up with the Ask, Answer, Update program. And so you have an opportunity every day to ask questions and be really, really interested. And you can answer questions and be really, really interesting. And you can promote others as well as yourself.
Right.
And use the update piece to update folks on what's happening, whether you're promoting a book, an idea, a lesson, another person, or your next event. The key, I believe, with social media is that it's such a new game changer. It's so different from traditional marketing, because traditional marketing has to do with trade shows and calls that interrupt you and email blasts that you haven't opted into and things like that. That's the old way of doing business where you're running after the traffic. Today, the goal of social media is to stand in front of the traffic because they're looking for you if you're doing it right.
Well, something that I have to say about what you just shared with us is you absolutely walk what you talk. I see it every day when I pop into various sites. I see you on Facebook and on LinkedIn from time to time, and Twitter. I'm not into LinkedIn all the time. I have a schedule that I kind of run. But every time I go in, I absolutely see you doing just those things, and that is being very giving and answering and helping people. So you absolutely walk by the rules that you set in place for yourself and the people that you help coach as well. Brian, go ahead.
Isn't that refreshing, that by itself, just to know that? See, that's the beauty of this show. I don't, not patting ourselves on the back, but we have people of such incredible integrity on our show. Donna, no exception by any means, because of what you just said, Kathy. I love this show, and I love doing it with you. And Donna, thank you so much for coming on. You just raise the bar every time we do another new show. But Kathy, you alluded to something that I wanted to touch on with Donna, and that is several different social media platforms. You talked about Facebook, you talked about LinkedIn, and you talked about Twitter. All 3 of those I was just gearing up to ask about. Donna, of those 3, or maybe there's another one, which one is your favorite? Which one do you use the most, or which one would you recommend being utilized the most for, say, from a business standpoint?
Well, it's kind of interesting. I use an example which might help to illustrate the value of the different networking sites, because we know social media is like a huge umbrella. And underneath that umbrella would be things like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, MySpace, things like Delicious and bookmarking sites and blog sites and using article sites. We can go on and on. But just to kind of simplify it, I like to think of Facebook.
Oh, I think we lost her for a moment there. Technology today, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, Donna has left the house for just a moment.
Well, and we will just work on getting her back here.
Yes, we will. So you will hear our audio while we work on bringing her back.
I'm still here. I hear you guys.
We've got her
Okay,
voice.
we can hear you.
Excellent.
I hear you, but I don't see you yet. Did we lose the?
Yeah, we just
I
lost
think we're
the
trying to
video,
get back.
not the audio.
I can hear you, but you're looking for the visual, right?
Right. So if you want to disengage there, Donna, I will get you back here.
Re-engage.
Disengage for a moment and I'll re-engage you.
So you want to call me back?
Correct.
Yes.
It'll be just a moment, folks. This happened once earlier as we were testing, and it just takes a few moments, so we'll bring her back and continue on. We were just getting to the juicy stuff, too.
I know. Well, that's kind of a good bit of a cliffhanger, don't you think?
Yes, no kidding.
It's like everybody's waiting with bated breath.
Come back, Donna.
We're back, Donna. Okay. Here we go. Let's get Donna back on the program so we can continue talking about which one is her pick.
Yeah, my goodness. That was a cliffhanger.
Best. Yeah.
I was curious what folks use as their primary social media platform.
And, and I think for different people, it's different. They have different choices. It's not all the same. I often find that I will, when I'm talking with somebody, I'll think that it's going to go in this succession, a certain succession that, I use Twitter first and Facebook and then LinkedIn, or maybe Facebook first and then Twitter and LinkedIn. And it surprises me sometimes. It's not always the same. It varies. Well, we are working on getting Donna back here with us at the moment.
Why is it when the show hits, everything goes pretty well? Oh, I think
Is she coming back? I think she is.
I think we have life coming.
I think we're back.
We are. There you are.
Hey,
We've just been
welcome
talking
back.
about what a great cliffhanger that was. Because we want to know now which of the social media sites that you were talking about.
Yes, and I think the last thing I said was MySpace is like Woodstock. Maybe if I didn't get to that one.
I like that.
And so that is a way to look at the different networking sites and then look at your business and your ideal audience and see where they may be. So what I've done is LinkedIn has been my number one in terms of results. They offer polls. You can target different groups. You can create your own group. It is a phenomenal tool.
I love it.
Yeah, don't you love it? I love LinkedIn. It's more and more sophisticated. They keep on upgrading it. What do you like about it, Kathy?
I think that I like the fact that you can go in and chat with other people on a topic, and it's not just one or two replies. You actually get a whole group of people involved in one topic. And they're very willing to help you get to a solution. It's a little bit different, very different on Twitter and even on Facebook, because it's just, I don't know how to explain it. You understand, I'm sure, because of the interaction that you do there, but it's just different. Even with Facebook, it's more kind of in and out, and with LinkedIn, you kind of drill down and actually find some resolve to issues that you might have.
Yeah, and it's an interesting demographic too. You know,
Yes.
it's a lot more of the corporate types. They have folks from just so many different countries. It's really a melting pot of a lot of ideas, and it's really more like a trade show. And that's why I think LinkedIn is more like a trade show. And you compare a trade show to a pub. Facebook is like a pub. And you can kind of see how the interactions are different. However, Facebook is taking us by storm. That is a very close second.
Yes.
A very close second for a whole host of reasons. And I've had a lot of success connecting with people. I met you, Kathy, on Facebook.
Yes, you did.
And let me tell you,
you extended yourself. Yeah.
let me tell you, she told me all about it. Oh, I met this fantastic woman on Facebook. I think she's going to be on our show. She's terrific. She's got all this background experience. Can't wait for you to meet her. So Facebook is a phenomenal social media outlet. It's a great way to meet high quality individuals as well as LinkedIn. One thing I liked about LinkedIn was it's got this built-in accountability to it that is very brilliant, the way they designed this entire platform where, with Facebook and especially MySpace, it's kind of a free-for-all, if you know what I mean. Same with Twitter. But with LinkedIn, there's you have to be accountable to your actions and your what you say and what you do on LinkedIn, or you will not be liked or followed or linked or connected with on LinkedIn for much longer, because it's just the way they designed it. We could go into that for a long time, but very brilliant the way they put that together. So, and I just wanted to add one thing, is that added to your credibility again, because so few people actually pick LinkedIn as number one. Kathy and I also put that up there as well. Very few realize the power behind LinkedIn, but sorry to digress there, but I just want to point that out real quick. So Facebook
it is absolutely huge.
Yeah.
Absolutely huge. I'm right there with you. LinkedIn is fabulous. And I think it just takes a little time to become acquainted, with the functionality. But I'll tell you that goes deep and wide. Very, very rich. Very rich. I've had a lot of success with LinkedIn. How long have you been social media addicts?
Wow. That goes
ours
back.
actually started as a competition almost 2 years ago.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
was a friendly
Go ahead,
competition, November of 2008. Is that right? Yeah. It's got to be about right.
Yeah.
And we were just we got into a friendly competition on who could get the most Twitter followers or get to 40,000, I think it was, or 20,000, the quickest.
10,000.
Oh, okay.
10,000 in 30 days.
And then that
Isn't that what? No, it was the fastest. It was who could get to 10,000 the quickest.
Right.
That's what it was going to be. Yeah.
And in the process of doing that, that's where we realized, oh my goodness, social media has a lot of capabilities when it comes to business, because we are also, as well as social media junkies, we're internet marketing addicts as well. And we were that before social media. So that we just
doing a lot
put our
of affiliate
marketing
marketing and network marketing and
everything with marketing.
It's very powerful. You guys are quite a great team. That is for sure.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. We're talking about different social media avenues, and one thing that kind of brought this to mind, Donna, you were sharing the fact that you've been involved in pay-per-click and that kind of thing early on, as we have as well. And right now, I mean, Facebook ads have been around for a long time. It's just right now they are the hot topic. But I'm sure you've noticed LinkedIn's got some stuff going on there too. And I'm not so sure if, they're trying to get to that level with Facebook trying to move towards Google, which looks like they're going to surpass in that part of it. But LinkedIn's kind of moving in and playing a little bit of that game as well. So I think that's going to offer an additional opportunity for all of us by getting involved in Facebook ads and also LinkedIn ads. I wanted to put that out there.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. And I noticed they added a promotion tab specifically at the group locations.
Yes.
Right. And I found that interesting. What I also find interesting is that a lot of folks are taking license. They're in the discussion area, they're doing promotions when they should really be promoting in the promotion area.
Right.
I think we're starting to to see how LinkedIn's going to navigate through that change, and I think it's great. I think promoting what you have to promote is great, but I also think if we are exchanging information and valuable content in the ask, answer, and update scenario, there still really needs to be plenty of room for that content sharing, and I would hate to see that go away. What do you think?
I agree, because that's very unique to LinkedIn. So
Yeah.
absolutely, that it would be sad to see that leave. Because
Well, you know-
go ahead.
Go on.
No, that's okay.
Now, what I find really great about social media is that it is not only here to stay, but it's the only way to be. I mean, you can't not be doing something with social media today. You just can't
true.
not be doing something with social media today. So for the folks that are a little resistant or a little overwhelmed, I would say take baby steps. Start with one. Just start with one and start to get a feeling for what it feels like to participate in a dialogue with someone from across the world that shares something in common with you. Just take it in little baby steps and chop it up and section off 30 minutes a day and take it one step at a time. As you get better, you'll find the automation tools out there that'll take your updates and go ahead and schedule them for you. I mean, there's so many things out there that'll make life easy. But at the moment, for the newbies, wouldn't you say just take one networking site and create a profile and dive in and commit to 30 minutes a day and see what happens?
Oh, by all means,
No,
one at a time.
It's too much.
Yes.
It's too much if you're a newbie, right, Brian? And
Absolutely.
you try to.
My goodness, we were full-time consumed on Twitter in the early days. I mean, I don't know how you would find time for anything else. In fact, Facebook was an afterthought many months later. And then from there, LinkedIn, and that's where Kathy discovered all these gems in LinkedIn, and we just said, oh my gosh, this is a gold mine that many people don't know about. They're going to find out more and more now with you, Donna, and you, Kathy, telling the world about it, which is great because, it's great to help people to achieve greater things in their business, because that is truly a great business venue. Can't say enough about it.
Well, and the other thing is with LinkedIn and Facebook and Twitter, Donna had just mentioned about newbies coming in and selecting just one. The other thing is there's so many offline businesses. I mean, that's a whole market for people out there that are looking, for a way to make money. There are offline businesses in your own neighborhood that have been buying ads on the yellow pages or putting ads in your little local or community newspaper. They don't even have a clue to what's going on with social media, and those are great avenues to tap into. So you want to attend and get involved with someone like Donna here that can show you the avenues and the ways to become involved in social media. By all means, if you already have a business, an online business going in particularly, but you can go out and actually talk to the folks in your own community and get them. And that's a great way to make some additional income by learning the strategies and becoming familiar with social media, and then helping some of your local people as well.
Yeah, exactly. I've been to a number of networking events, and I'm seeing a trend out there. And I've coined a phrase called social media babysitting.
Babysitting, good.
Media babysitting, because a lot of the busy entrepreneurs sort of have a sense of what social media is, but the details and the attention that they perceive it requires is, if I give you an idea of what I want you to say, could you just go ahead and maintain it for me?
Yeah.
And then I'll just show up, you do the laundry and I'll show up and I'll make the bed, kind of thing,
Yes.
So, and they're looking for folks to really do the tactical part once they understand the strategy. I think there's a huge need out there for social media babysitting, sometimes known as social media management, but I kind of like the babysitting idea.
It can be.
Well, I was telling somebody that the other day, sharing that, you could learn how to do social media and how to work within it and how to market within it. you need to find a good coach, you need to find a good mentor. And this individual said to me, well, why are you telling people that they can go out and do this and make money with their local businesses? And I said, the world is a big place.
Yeah, of course.
There are plenty of businesses to go around. I'm not worried about sharing and saying, find a good coach, find a good mentor, learn, because this can be additional income for you, could be a job for you, but you could do it even on the weekends and go to some of the businesses in your own community. So I'm not worried about sharing or telling anybody. And I'm sure you would agree. And Brian, both you and Donna.
Absolutely, yeah.
I totally agree. Yes. What were you going to say, Brian?
Really not much, except for, folks, we are talking with Donna Ling, a business coach, a business/life coach, and social media strategist. Just want to take a quick mention to make sure that after the show, not now, after the show, be sure to click on her picture.
Which way is she?
It looks just like her now. But click right on her nose. Don't miss that nose, because that's the active spot. And when you click on that, you'll be taken to her website that will tell you all about this great program she's put together. It sounds like she has several programs, actually, on smart tools, coaching, and training. So be sure to go check that out. And we will talk about the link beneath in just a moment. But moving on, what I did want to bring up was we've talked a lot about what to do, kind of like social media etiquette, or how to best make use of your time on social media via ask, answer, and update. But Donna, what would you say, what kind of advice would you have for folks on what not to do on social media that might actually damage their presence on the social media platforms?
Oh, good question.
Well, I'll give you an example of what not to do, and then I'd like to touch upon, if we have time, a social media pledge that I created.
All right.
Because it takes a look at things that you shouldn't do and puts you in a position of making a pledge with respect to the things that you should do. But let me start with a really funny example. I'm on LinkedIn quite a bit, and there was one person who kept on showing up, promoting herself. And one day I looked at LinkedIn and looked at her and what she was promoting herself, and I said, "Are you talking to me?" It always feels like every time I'm there, she's there promoting herself. Now, of course, she shall remain nameless. But now my knee-jerk reaction is every time I see her promoting herself, I completely pass it. I completely avoid it. There's no value there. And so one of the pledges that I created, and Chris Brogan came up with this idea, so he stimulated this and I added it to my social media pledge, which is use the 12-to-1 rule. Promote other ideas, quotes, books, events, passions 12 times, and out of that, one of them should be about your event. 12-to-1 is a wonderful balance, because then you are seen as a player who is bringing value to the party. You're seen as someone who, maybe if I talk to her, we can have a win-win conversation. Maybe it can be a dialogue, not it's all about me. There's a wonderful scene in the movie Beaches, and this illustrates this point. Bette Midler is talking about herself, and then she pauses and she says, "Oh, enough about me. What do you think about me?"
I love that line.
I mean, isn't that a great example of what?
There's a lot of people, unfortunately, there are a lot of people out there like that. So what a great pledge to have, so that if we are having moments like that where we might be breaching on the edge of doing just that, it will come to our mind, and, we will think before we just start talking about me.
Yeah, and I think the new way of marketing just is going to put their foot down. They're going to say, it's just, you're going to become invisible. The traditional marketing is in your face, in your face, in your face, in your face. Here's the reason why you want to buy. This is what's in it for you. The with them statement was big. Now it's really more like a dance. Let's go ahead and get along. There was a video which exemplified this on Facebook, and it showed a guinea pig a cat, a dog, and another animal kind of all hanging out together, getting along. And that's kind of really what we're about. We're bridging the differences in a beautiful way. And I think the potential for social media eclipses the business model. It goes way beyond that. And I think it's a tool to bring diversity into the picture in a big way, too.
Well, I had a conversation with somebody recently about how times are changing. I mean, even the fact that we were all 4 or 5 years ago, everybody was in the high-rise buildings and working and rushing around. Now, there's still people doing that. But we're starting to get more and more away from that, and we're starting to work in our homes and have home offices. And so because of that, we're becoming more connected with people. When we're in the cubicles and we're in the high-rise buildings and we're off somewhere, we don't have the kind of interaction that we're able to enjoy by being involved in social media in this way. And it's not necessarily that you have to be in somebody's business and know all that kind of stuff, but just the fact that there is a genuine, caring interaction with each other. And the cool thing about it is that we develop real friendships.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
And we do.
Yes.
And I think that that's part of our humanness, that we just need that kind of connection and interaction. And I've got to tell you, I worked in I was in sales and in management, so I had a lot of connection with people, but it was a little more superficial in a lot of circumstances. I have closer contacts and relationships with folks that I have met through social media.
Yes. Yeah.
And I mean, and it's like when we do get to see each other, it's like you've known them forever, right? So it's just so different.
Yeah, I mean, you're a good example. It's really, was it like 2 months, maybe 3 months that we started talking 3 months ago?
3 months ago, yeah.
And I just have such a comfort level with you, like I've known you for a long, long time, because I follow you, I track you, I see what you're up to, I see the fun things you do.
Stalking me. She's stalking me, Brian.
I'm stalking you, and it's a wonderful thing. There are certain people that I track, and I track you, and it's good because it really builds that integrity, that authenticity. I'm looking at the time. Would you two find it valuable if I covered some of the other social media pledge statements?
Absolutely.
Or is there something else you'd like to discuss?
We have more time than you even think we have. We really do. Yeah.
Okay.
Love that look.
Good.
No, we actually do. I mean, it looks like we don't have that much time, but there's just somehow it just kind of it works out. It just does. Brian, what do you want to ask her next?
There's so many, I don't know where to start anymore, but I guess let's get back to the interaction of losing a picture again. We lost our picture again. Can you still hear us?
So dang it. So you know what I said? We've got plenty of time, and then that just like woo-dooed it, didn't it?
Yeah, I think we actually lost her audio that time as well.
Yeah. Well, I think that one of the things that we were going to talk about next, as we're trying to get her back here, is how critical it is to really listen and engage with people that you're connected with, and that's something that that I think is a good point, and it's something that we've talked about tonight. And the fact is, it is very important. I'm sorry, I've got to click the right thing here. I'm going to disconnect all of us.
Okay, I'm back.
Oh, perfect.
All right, she's coming back. There we go.
There you are.
We can.
I said we have plenty of time, and then we lost you. But while you were gone, we were talking about how critical it is to engage and be connected with people.
And really listen to them, not just...
And really listen to what they're saying. Thank you, Brian.
So that was what I wanted to ask you. And then you left. I couldn't believe it.
Well, I'm here. So I really do agree with that whole dialogue versus monologue dance is really kind of interesting and so important. And to be able to do that, you would think it would be difficult in the world of social media, but it is the world of social media, right?
Yes. Well, if you would like to share some of your steps, I'm afraid that we might lose you again, and I don't want to miss that part.
Well, let me go ahead and I'll see if I can fit in a few, because these are gentle guidelines that you can start to incorporate if you're a little newer, one step at a time.
Perfect.
And if you're more advanced, it's still a recap of probably what you're already doing. So here's the pledge. Number 1, I pledge to listen, engage, educate, and influence 30 to 60 minutes a day.
Nice.
Listen was number 1. Listen, engage, educate, and influence 30 to 60 minutes a day. And that's for the folks that, want to compartmentalize their life so they step into social media gradually. Over time, it can be more rigorous and more a larger time commitment. But for most folks, if they put in 30 to 60 minutes a day doing that, they will start to see results. Wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
They might not be as addicted as the 3 of us, but they could start gradually and not feel overwhelmed. Number 2, ask clients and partners to promote me. So feel free to ask. Would you recommend me on LinkedIn? Usually the setup is, I love what you do, Kathy. Great. What do you like about it? Well, you're this, that, and the other thing, blah, blah, blah. You know what? Would you be willing to recommend me on LinkedIn? Right? I mean, it's really, really simple. And a lot of folks don't go there. You need to consider that 12 to 1. This is where you want to ask for someone to recommend you, because you'll be recommending them as well. That's number 2. Not necessarily in this order. Number 3, be interested and be interesting. And think about that balance too. I asked a question and I got 66 responses. And I asked on LinkedIn, would you be more successful in business if you were interested or interesting? And the lion's share of the people said it's so important to be interested.
Yes.
80%.
Isn't that wonderful? That's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And of the 80%, here was the other thing. And again, this is the corporate point of view. It's important to be interested because that's how you get what you want.
That's interesting.
Very
interesting.
Very interesting. So I have a different point of view. I think it's a dance. I think sometimes people are so eager to be fed valuable content, and that's where you get to be interesting. People are also very interested in being heard. So there's that balance, to be interested in be interesting. Number 4 is to promote the value of others as often as you can. That's really powerful. Then it gets Bette Midler out of the picture entirely. The other one is, again, it's the give first and receive later position. That's number 5. And my favorite is number 6. Use dialogue, not monologue. Because that's where the dance happens. Sounds like there's a dog somewhere.
That's my Zoe girl.
She wants some dialogue.
Well, I think her dad just came home.
She wants some camera time.
Sorry about that.
I love dogs. She's looking for some dialogue. And then there's number 7, which we've heard for a number of years now. Live the social media code, which is to be known, liked, and trusted over time. Number 8, I pledge to get face-to-face or phone time with my online contacts. At least once a week. If you put that into your plan, that's how I met you. Were on my plan, Kathy. I was ready to talk to her.
She's telling it like it is. She called and she said, "This is one of my steps in my pledge, and so I am calling you." That's exactly how it happened. Yes.
Yes. And what are you selling me? I'm not selling you anything. I just want to exchange and collaborate, and it worked out beautifully.
Yeah.
Number 9, apply the 1 to 12 rule. Promote yourself one time out of 12 times on the internet. Preferably, you can sort of, make it loosey-goosey. If you have 4 to 5 updates a day, then you can do the math and figure out where you fit in with your promotions. What do you think about that, the 1 to 12?
I like it.
I think it's very powerful because it's, again, not focusing on you, or me, but, it helps you to do that ask, answer, update without the focus on yourself. So you become more engaging and more interesting to others because you're not talking about yourself all the time.
Exactly. I mean, imagine if we applied this to our personal relationships.
Yes.
That could be interesting.
That's another interesting statement. Yes.
Well, I love.
We're interesting too.
There are 2 points in there. You probably have one more, I'll bet, don't you?
No, go right ahead. Go right ahead. What were you going to say?
You talked about promote the value of others as often as you can and give first. And I got to tell you that Kathy and I have, as a direct result of using something very similar to that approach, it's just opened doors like you would not believe. And I noticed that successful entrepreneurs, I don't know, there are very few that don't use that technique or that approach. And those that do are the ones that are much higher echelon as far as their success. And we're finding that and the other thing it does is you meet and end up interacting with very high integrity individuals as a result, we found. I mean, this was like our greatest integrity filter, if you will.
Yes.
As you notice, Kathy, when we start employing those, those 2 steps that you just mentioned, Donna, the doors just opened and it was much brighter inside this room all of a sudden than it was before. We had met some great people, don't get me wrong, but the percentage of people that we met that were great went way up. So I just wanted to touch on that those are very valuable tips that you're giving right now.
And I thank you for that because it's so valuable. I mean, and it also becomes viral because
Yes.
I had a great time with you. I'm going to share this with my colleagues and my friends, and I am a connector, and a lot of entrepreneurs are. And there's nothing that's going to be more delightful than to say, you've got to check out Brian and Kathy. They are rocking and rolling with a lot of value. They're smart. They're fun. Don't collect $50. Just go. Forget about Monopoly. Just go and interact with them. And that's what it's all about. And the like-minded folks are going to be attracted to what you offer. So I totally endorse what you are doing. It's powerful, and I'm so happy to be a part of it.
As we are.
Well, we're glad that you're a part of it as well.
Yes.
Yes, like I said earlier, I was so excited for you and Brian to have the opportunity to meet. I'm glad that it came to pass.
I am too. Am I able to sneak in a few more things,
Sure.
or are you?
No, absolutely.
Are you good? Okay. Well, then I'm going to sneak in a few more things because I think we've got a few more things on my list here.
Yes.
In the social networking pledge, and this is really key. One of my friends has 25,000 followers. But there's just not a lot happening, and so it's important to look at the quantity thing. But my pledge says select quality connections over quantity. You'll eventually get to the quantity, but wouldn't it be better to select quality over quantity rather than go back and do spring cleaning and say, oops,
Yep.
And then another one is be transparent and authentic while using good judgment.
That's a good one.
Because a lot of folks go, wow, let me tell you everything.
Yeah.
And I think there's something to be said for using good judgment.
That's
Absolutely.
when you go, TMI.
Exactly. Exactly. And just to kind of look at that, things like, I don't put my birthday on Facebook. I don't put the name of my fiance on Facebook. They're little things, but I think it's important just to kind of be smart about that.
Sure.
I agree. Well, I think that nowadays, with the way technology is, if people really want to find out more than what we're showing, they can find it. but it just makes it a little more difficult. And I like to think that if you don't share, well, if you do share certain information with folks, that they're not going to go beyond the boundaries that you set,
Yes.
you know? So, yeah, I think that's good. And I think part of that has to do with character and integrity. So if there are people out there that try to move beyond that, then we don't want to be involved with them so much. So,
Well, and it helps
Exactly. And
it just helps people to know you, to like you, and to trust you that much quicker as well.
exactly. And so that's where that judgment comes in. And I ran into only two people that were a little, shall we say, slicey dicey, but it didn't take long to, get that handled, and it was done the right way, and you move on. But for the most part, I have had just a plus experience with the individuals I've interacted with. I've got two more,
All right.
and this one's really, really good. Keep learning.
Yes.
Keep learning how your ideal audience shops and learns online. Keep on learning how your ideal audience shops and learns online. Where are they? What are they up to? What's important to them? How do you connect with them? Because, ultimately we're looking to connect with our ideal collaborators, our ideal referral partners, our ideal clients, our new buddies who we might do business together one day. But it starts with, again, really kind of figuring out, what do you like and what do they like, and just go from there.
but what I like about that is the fact that in that searching and continued education, trying to find out what it is that they're doing, we learn so much more as well.
Yes.
It's a constant learning process, I think. I was talking to somebody the other day and they said, "Oh my gosh, you know about this?" It was something in affiliate marketing. That's what it was. And I said, "Oh my gosh, it was like something from 6 years ago that I happened to pull out of my head." But if it was something that just happened today with affiliate marketing, I haven't been watching it as close, like the last couple of months. And as you know, in 2 months' time, a lot can transpire when we're talking about the internet. So if it had been something new that the question was about, I might not have been able to answer it, but still, it's constant learning and engaging. Okay, go ahead.
Exactly. Yes, I totally agree. And that's what, to me, makes it awfully fun. And the last one is be consistent and know that it can take time. Be consistent. Just keep by. If you say, I'm going to be on there 15 minutes a day, make it 15 minutes a day. Be consistent, because I notice some folks on Facebook in particular, they're going to be available and then they're not there. They show up and they engage and then they don't. Being consistent is really important. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. On that note, I do have a question. Do you recommend always going on to Facebook around the same time each and every day?
I've been testing that out.
Okay.
I use a tool that allows me to update every couple of hours. I schedule my updates every couple of hours. And I've been trying to notice when folks respond, what time of day or what day people tend to respond, and what time of day on Monday, what time of day on Tuesday, and so forth, people tend to respond. And so far, what I've noticed, and I'd like to get your point of view, is that it reminds me of little mini tribes. Interests. And so I divide up my day. I've got my quote interest, the event interest, social media interest, positivity. I mean, I can go through my list. And so I just sprinkle those updates that are scheduled every day. And it's almost like little mini tribes occur. It's like almost like little hummingbirds start to congregate around a particular quote, let's say. And it seems like a lot of the times they're the same people.
They're the same ones. Yeah.
Interesting.
So I don't know if I'm answering that correctly, but I'm at the stage in my social media expertise or development, I'm noticing these little mini tribes occurring, but I haven't been able to connect the dots between the time of day, and the best time to have a particular update. What I am noticing, though, is the same people are starting to congregate around certain similar topics.
Got it.
And I think that's part of connecting with like-minded people. That's what I see as well. I'm not looking at any analytics for it, but just get up very early in the morning, and so consequently, a lot of folks that I communicate with are back east. So they've already had their Cheerios and they're halfway through their day by the time I start putting some posts on. But it's interesting. I notice the same thing, and as new people are drawn to whatever the information is, they start sticking with it as well. So it's kind of building around the same kinds of topics. And it varies throughout the day because as the day goes through, and I think, again, it's the people, because Brian and I are both here on the West Coast, as it gets later in our day, which consequently is later where you're in the Atlanta area, right?
Right,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Moving into dinner, and we're just kind of into our afternoon, then I see more of like the Midwest and West Coast folks kind of, yeah, so I notice it from that standpoint. And because I do not have a timeline for people necessarily up in Canada or in some of the other countries, because there are other people from other countries that, come in and communicate, that I'm not gauging as well, but I do from East, West Coast kind of thing. So
It's interesting. What have you seen, Brian, in terms of timing and communication?
Well, it's interesting because of the actual timing on which posts show up, say on my wall on Facebook. Some could be like the very top post could be from 7 hours ago. So it seems to jumble up the actual time that posts were made anyway. So I'm not sure if there is a more important time to post on Facebook versus another time, just on the apparent randomness in which those get actually posted. I'm just talking about Facebook right now, not LinkedIn or Twitter. Because Facebook is right now the primary vehicle by which I use, and also I think, Kathy, for day-to-day type communication and connectivity, and LinkedIn for other reasons. But I was curious because they're so, I don't know why, but they come in somewhat randomly, and you could have someone that you just interacted with post to your wall, and then another one that comes in later that was 7 hours ago. It's like, well, how'd that happen? So I don't know if it really does make any much difference other than, going from 3 to 4 in the morning, you may not get a whole lot of interaction, but, normal hours during the day, I think I don't know, to me, it doesn't seem to matter.
It's really interesting. What I have noticed, though, are a couple of strategies. One of my clients will start her morning every morning, happy morning, get out of bed, it's time to turn off the alarm clock, rise and shine kind of thing. And she gets like 17 to 20 people interacting with her, joking around, talking about coffee, getting out of bed, the whole thing. And so she has her morning tribe. Kind of interesting.
Very cool. I like that.
Well, yeah, tribes. We're all part of a tribe. That's, Well, I'll tell you what, you had mentioned a few minutes ago, Donna, about running out of time, and we actually have come to the top of the hour.
Oh.
I know. And we always get here way before we intend to have it come, but it has come around again. And and before I turn it back over to Brian and to you, I just want to tell you, I am just so thrilled that you accepted to be on the show with Brian and I, and to share all of your wisdom and your wonderful personality and all of your talents that you have. I know Brian's going to talk to them about looking at your link down there, because we know you've got a great webinar coming up that can help some of these folks. But from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for taking your valuable time tonight to share with our audience. And thank you to the audience for coming and seeing us this week. Brian, thank you so much again. I've enjoyed another Tuesday evening. And for us, it's getting close to dinner time. That distant roar of thunder you hear is actually my stomach, not a lightning storm. I'm going to turn it back over to you, Brian.
Yes, and we're actually having lightning right behind my back here. Kind of far behind my back, I hope. But Donna, it's been an absolute pleasure getting to meet you. You're such a bundle of energy and joy that we'll definitely got to have you back on our show at a future date, because I can tell you have we've just barely skimmed the surface of what you have and what you can bring for everyone who watches, of incredible value. But I want everyone on that note to be sure to click on the link beneath us, because Donna, you have a webinar coming up very soon. Is that correct?
That is, yes, it's on October 26th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
8 p.m. Eastern. So what I want all of you that are watching tonight, once we're done, once we say goodbye, is click on that banner beneath us. It's the colorful red, white, and blue. It says Smart Tools Coaching and Training, and it has her web address and a phone number on that as well. Be sure to click on that and get onto her webinar. You've already seen and heard the amount of value she brings to the table, and the more you listen to people like Donna, the more you are going to get it, and it's going to start, bubbling to the top. You're going to just say, aha, I get it, and now you can move forward and move to the next step. Just thank you so much, Donna. Kathy, as always, thank you so much for everything you do to get this show together. I always say she's the glue that holds this show together, quite literally. Does so much. There is a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes, and Kathy does most of it these days, I got to tell you that. And Donna, once again, thank you so much. I can't thank you enough for spending your time with us, not just tonight, but going through the tests and everything that have to occur before the show. With that, though, what is your webinar about really briefly? Can you give us a little tidbit of what you're going to be talking about?
This webinar was designed so people could actually walk away with a daily action plan designed for their business that they can use the next day.
Wow.
Nice.
Fantastic. That's powerful enough right there.
Yes.
So definitely click on that link after we say bye-bye tonight. And if you're watching the recording, also click on it. She may have a future webinar. If you're watching the recording, then go up there and click on her nose. That'll take you to our main website where you can get in contact with Donna. I'm sure she has Facebook links and all that good stuff to get you over there. Being the social media person she is, she wants to get connected with each and every one of you. But with that, I'd like to say once again, thank you to Kathy. Thank you to Donna. Be sure to tune in next week. We have another fantastic guest coming along, a blogging expert. You're going to love it. We'd like to bid you all good night, and thank you once again for watching. Good night, all.
All right.
Good night. Thank you.